Hello. Weird intro. But today's video, basically, is a response to a request that we got, pretty much over a week ago? I think it was over a week ago. My last Doctor Who episode, where I was talking about the interesting facts of the 1960s. Yep. Requested to do more Doctor Who videos, so I tried to rack my brain, try to figure it out. I did come up with this idea, like, pretty much a week ago, but then my laptop froze and, well, I lost all the footage, so I'm redoing it today. And, well, basically it's just to review Doctor Who from the first ever story, An Unearthly Child, to, well, from the first Doctor to Jodie Whittaker, or how far this goes on for, or how long I take to make these videos. But, yeah, let's crack on. Because I'm really excited to do this, and I really wanted to do this for a long time. These are reviews, so not reactions, which I want to do, but that will be figured out sometime else. To start off with, we do have the first one, An Unearthly Child. Basically, this, well, literally says, the first ever story of the world's longest running science fiction series comes to DVD for the first time. That was quite a long time ago. I only got these recently. Oh, okay, give or take about a few years, but I have them all. This is how much of a Whovian I am. Or a Doctor Who nerd, as you want to call it. Okay, starting off with An Unearthly Child. Well, on the front, you can see Susan. The Doctor's granddaughter. Yes, the Doctor has a granddaughter, if you're only a new Who fan here. Doctor has a granddaughter. With Unearthly Child, it starts off perfectly fine. Absolutely fine. Great introduction. We have established that the Doctor and Susan are aliens. Ian and Barbara, the pictures will be probably down here somewhere. There. Probably like down here somewhere. Of each companion and Doctor. Yeah. So, the Doctor and Susan are aliens, that's established. Ian and Barbara are bewildered humans that stumble onto the TARDIS. And I'll give you this fact for free. Barbara was the first ever human to step aboard the TARDIS. Because she literally just walks in the door and is bewildered, and then Ian comes in. Hello, the question. That's the only good episode in that entire story. Yeah. Because the remainder three, because it's a 4-part story, yes, each story has a different length of episodes in them. Right, so before I continue, to break this down, it's all compiled into one thing called a story. These stories are made up of many different types of episode. I think the highest is, 12 episodes? I think it's the highest amount of episodes a story has ever got. Because Classic Who was cancelled in 1989, it was split between seasons and series. So whenever I say season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10, I am referring to Classic Who, and when I'm saying series 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I mean New Who. Just to clarify that. But the remainder 3 episodes are quite boring, because, yeah, I know I'm probably supposed to sell you this, but you would enjoy it. On a first time watching, you would enjoy the story, but rewatching it, you'll be like, I'll skip these 3 episodes, because they're just about the dawn of humans and, well, cavemen. So, that's pretty much sums it up. Which then moves us on to the next one, the Daleks. This is a great introduction to, well, because it has on here little segments for this, because it's sort of like, well, these were almost junked, so basically wiped away or, deleted. Ha, that's more of a Cyberman joke than a Dalek joke, but anyway. But it says the Doctor is about to have his first meeting with the Daleks. Well, for the most complicated stories, I'll be reading the blurb, because it gives you kind of like a small segment of the story. So basically it says the TARDIS lands in an alien petrified jungle belong beyond which lies a mysterious, deserted city. The Doctor insists on exploring, but before long the TARDIS crew has begun experiencing a high effect of radiation sickness, and then they discover that the mechanical city isn't as deserted as they thought. Can't read properly, yes, it's... Okay, comment on the fact that, yes, you want to see my eyes, and you want to see my face. They are kind of in hindrance when I'm trying to read, but that'll be a future thing. Right, fine. Here you go. That's my eyes. Just to make this slightly easier, I'm not taking the hood down, but there's my eyes. You can finally see me. I look dopey, meaning tired, but they're going back on because it's my identity. I did it anyway, so there you go. But yeah, basically the concept of the story. The TARDIS crew lands on Skaro, find that petrified jungle, finds the deserted city, but then they discover the Daleks. Then they discover a humanoid race called the Thals, and apparently the Daleks and the Thals have been fighting for pretty much centuries. See, the Daleks used to be human, the Daleks used to be human and called the Khalids, which is literally just Dalek in reverse. Literally, Khaled and Dalek, exactly the same word, just back to front. Anyway, so it's more of an enjoyable story. It's 7 parts long. 7 parts? Yeah, 7 parts long. Trying to think of anything else that happens. Oh, well, the Thals storm the Dalek city, take control of it all, destroy all the Daleks there. The Doctor, Susan, Ian and Barbara leave, and they try to return home, and the TARDIS malfunctions, leading us on to our 3rd story of the 1st season, The Edge of Destruction, which... Okay, basically, it's a 2-part story, so it's easy to explain. But basically, the TARDIS fast return switch malfunctions. So the TARDIS is now stuck, constantly landing and taking off. But on top of that, it's gone so far back into the past of our solar system that the creation of the solar system has taken the power, or taken or disabled, it's not really clarified, I'll have to rewatch it soon to have a clarification. It's basically, I'd say, disabled the TARDIS, so they can't do anything. The, what was it, the fault detection system says that every single system on the ship is malfunctioning, when it isn't. And it gets so much that they kind of going crazy and insane, try to kill each other. Fun. Then the Doctor discovers that the fast return switch has malfunctioned, and he fixes it, and then they land in Asia, on the roof of the world, which leads us on to Marco Polo, the first ever historical Doctor Who story. They need more of these in New Who. More historicals. Not like what they've done where they've added alien tech or some form of thing to a historical event. But this is the start of something that they kind of gave up quite early on in the franchise. Like, the second Doctor had the last ever historical story. But basically, to follow it, the TARDIS malfunctions on the roof of the world. Oh yeah, that's it. The TARDIS is now completely broken because of the whole thing with Edge of Destruction. So they have to try and fix it. But they're kind of ambushed by, what was it? Oh, well, they're in 1289, so Asia. Legendary Venetian traveller Marco Polo and his company, who are on a journey to Cathay, China. That's what China was called before. It's called China, Cathay. Peking was the capital of Cathay. I don't actually know. Yeah, Cathay. No, that's China. Peking was the capital of Cathay. Mighty Kublai Khan kind of rules there. Okay, but the entire point of the story is that the TARDIS is now broken, and the Doctor tries to fix it, but they're accused of being like wizards and magical and all that stuff, so they kind of are now trapped in doing they kind of to kind of stop them from being killed by, I think, the protectors of Marco Polo's company. Marco Polo decrees that they will take them to Peking, to the mighty Kublai Khan, and that's another. Just on top of that, Marco Polo tries to sell the TARDIS to Kublai Khan to get back to kind of pay for his debts. What's it debts? To go back to Italy, to Venice, to, well, basically stop being in kind of the ownership of the Kublai Khan. A flying caravan, that's what the TARDIS is called. It is a good story. It's 7 parts as well. Called. It is a good story. It's 7 parts as well. But it is good because it kind of tries to tell you the historical of the time, what they knew. Because, you know, it has changed. A lot of research has been found since the story was created. But I would recommend it. I would recommend all of this, all of Classic Who. Even if I don't like a certain episode or a story, still watch it. It's great. You can get your hand on most of these. Some of them you have to go a bit further afield to try and get, like Marco Polo. Some of the stories that are missing, you'll have to go further afield for it. Yeah. So, Marco Polo explains that that the Doctor can mend or fix, or is allowed to. Oh wait, no. They're allowed to travel, but he's not allowed to enter the TARDIS. So the Doctor gives Marco Polo his key. So basically, gives Marco Polo his key. Then the Doctor, quite literally, goes, I'm not having this, and makes another key. Sorry, I just love these little props. I have a lot of Doctor Who props here. I dropped the key. Yeah, but he just makes it a separate key. Makes a separate key to get in the TARDIS. They discover that because the TARDIS system has kind of shut down, because they sleep in the TARDIS. The TARDIS crew sleep in the TARDIS. I am explaining so much, but they discover condensation. They get water from it. They are accused of being magic. Gonna curse them. Yeah. But I'm trying to think of like distinctive things about the story. Well, I kind of have broken the review things. I haven't really given ratings, but they'll be at the end. Well, they get to Peking, meet the Kublai Khan. The Doctor and Kublai Khan have a conversation. Then there's an assassination attempt on Kublai Khan. The Doctor, Susan, Ian, and Barbara are allowed to leave. They then take off, and then they land on an acidic shore. Is it right? Yeah. On a remote island of glass surrounded by a sea of acid, there's a machine that can remove all evil from the minds of an entire population. The consciousness of mariners. Yeah. Yep. The keys of Marinus. Basically, a glorified collectathon. They go around Marinus, collecting the keys, literally the title, the keys of Marinus. There's also a false key that, in the end, does save the day. Ian is put on trial for a murder that he didn't commit. Basically, somewhat of a political thing here, raising awareness of the whole innocent thing of the death penalty. They get lucky with one of the women, I can't remember her name, I haven't watched that story in a long time. um, admitting that she's the one that did the murder and framed Ian, and I think holds Susan hostage. Yeah, holds Susan hostage. That kind of gets exposed. Then Ian's set free. Basically, the sum of it is they go out to collect keys. Ian gets accused of a murder. Susan gets captured, and in the end, I think, is it, how many keys are there? I don't actually know, but most of the keys are found, but the false one has been taken, and then it gets put in the machine. The machine explodes, and it stops all of that. And well, pretty much that's it. They take off, and then they land in the land of the Aztecs. Not their best historical, I will admit. It's not boring. I wouldn't say it's boring. Again, these stories are impressive in how they're made, but I wouldn't say that these are this one is quite of a weird one, because I'll read this one so you can get a grasp of it. The TARDIS materializes in Mexico in the 15th century, where the Doctor and his companions soon discover that it is a bloodthirsty and dangerous place, with Barbara mistaken for a reincarnation of an Aztec high priest called Yet. Oh no. Yet Yatexa. Oh yeah, that's it, Yatexa. Damn it. She thinks that she can put an end to the barbaric human sacrifices once and for all, but can she rewrite history without dangerous consequences? Yeah, which is kind of the interesting thing, because the whole point of Ian and Barbara is they represent the audience, like most companions do. I think that was changed, I don't know. But they represent the audience. Ian is a science teacher for the stories that kind of explain history. No, not history. That's Barbara's job. Like scientific development, like radiation stuff, and a lot of like science, anything to do with science. Ian is the expert of it, and Barbara is the historical expert. But in this story, in the Aztecs, she's like, no, this is not right. But you're a science teacher. You've read about this. This happened. So yeah, she kind of has the false thing of changing history. Susan gets sold off to a random Aztec man to get married. That's a weird aspect of the story, by our standards. Doctor sneaks around, tries to figure out a way, something else. It's historical, so there's not really much sophisticated stuff in it. Pretty much they get through the entirety of the event, get back in the TARDIS and fly away. And then the weirdest story, the Sensorites. Look at him. Interesting thing. Oh yeah, this is an introduction to the Gallifreyan / Time Lord. Oh yeah, Susan's Gallifreyan. That's another thing. Yeah. Psychic thing. The psychic. But Jordan and his companions land on the spaceship. Oh, sorry, hold on. Throat's closing up. I need to get a drink. The Doctor and his companions land on the spaceship orbiting a distant, mysterious world, where a human crew lie frozen somewhere between life and death. The planet is in the Sense Sphere, home of the Sensorites, and from planets of the Ood as well. As beings of immense intelligence and power, unable to leave, the Doctor and his companions must deduce the Sensorites' intentions. Are they friendly, hostile, or frightened? And what is the deadly secret at the heart of the Sense Sphere? Basically, just a race of highly telepathic species basically attack a human ship. Then it goes into a weird political thing. Susan communicates with the Sensorites telepathically. The TARDIS's door lock mechanism is stolen, so they can't escape. I really don't remember the story much, because I think not much really happens. They try and deduce what the Sensorites want. I don't really have conclusions come to it. They obviously leave and come back. I'm not slowly going down in confidence for this because I don't know what's going on. It's just generally because I have probably only watched that story once. Unlike this one, The Reign of Terror, the third historical and my favourite. Oh, like if anyone asked me, oh, what's your favourite season 1 Doctor Who story, and I'm like, it's The Reign of Terror, because it's amazing. It's during the French Revolution. I think, yeah, Ian and Barbara believe that they're back in England, in Somerset. I think, is this that? No. Anyway, but they believe that they are back in England, but then it turns out they're in France during the French Revolution. They find a house, try and disguise themselves, but then turns out they get captured that way. The Doctor gets knocked out in a burning building, gets saved, then is forced to work. He then escapes, gets to Paris. Ian, Barbara, and Susan are held in I think, the Bastille. I can't remember if they distinctly said that they are in the Bastille. But, anyway, kind of the events of the French Revolution happen. Then part of the anti-revolutionary ideals, not in support of a new king, but against Monsieur Robespierre. I can't say his name right, but that's close enough as you're going to get it for today. Basically, kind of hire the TARDIS crew to basically do that. Well, okay, right, hold on. Let me just stop distracting myself. Susan actually starting to have a headache from the last story where she's been talking telepathically with the Sensorites. She then, hold on. Then, she then kind of has to rest a bit. And then, oh, stop saying then. But you know what I mean. It's just very hard to describe what happens in the historical because it's a historical. A lot of historical stuff happens in it. Yay. God, I really needed to fix my throat. Right. Yes. Pretty much it ends with the whole main the original revolutionary team being guillotined like they did to the royals or anyone that was against the revolution. And yeah, then they leave, and that's the end of the first season. These 8 episodes, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah, these 8 stories makes up the first season. So, An Unearthly Child, I'd rate, let's be fair, a 5 out of 10. It started off well, just sadly didn't get to the point where it was good enough to actually be considered, you know, but it's in the middle, 5 out of 10. The Daleks, 7 out of 10, because it's an improvement from the previous story, and it kind of introduced the Daleks perfectly, and actually doesn't make them out to be a big interstellar warrior race. These are just Daleks that are on Skaro. Edge of Destruction, 9 out of 10. Almost perfect, because it kind of loses it a bit, but it's only 2 episodes, so there's not really much you can do, but interesting ideas. Marco Polo, 7 out of 10, again. It's long, it's 7 episodes. It's a long story. You'd have to sit through quite a lot of it. But the whole idea of the Doctor not being allowed into the TARDIS, but then sneaking into the TARDIS anyway, is pretty funny to me. Then you got, well, sort of the explanation of that is, when watching it, I did enjoy it. I was really intrigued by the historical stuff. I did look up a lot of stuff to see a lot of what was being said and what events really happened. A lot of them kind of did. Keys and Marinus, 5 out of 10. It's not good, but it's not great either. It's not good. It's not bad. It's not good either. It's, like I said, it's a glorified collectathon. You really have to, you know, you'd really have to stick through that. And obviously having Ian being accused of killing someone and having the death penalty. Ugh. The Aztecs. Yeah, I'm giving that a 3 out of 10. Because it's just contradicting to Barbara's whole thing of being a history teacher. She can't change history. That's the whole point of this. Well, I guess that's because she learns that in that story, but it's very confusing when you understand what Ian and Barbara are doing on the TARDIS. Sensorites, same as the Aztecs, 3 out of 10, because it's really confusing on, like, what they're really trying to, like, show with this. This is a 10 out of 10. People would say, like, oh, it's not that good, but I'm saying, my opinion, I'm doing the reviews, it's a 10 out of 10, because I've watched that story more than I have the rest of that season. I love the Reign of Terror. And, well, soon, hopefully soon, you will be getting my review of Season 2, and hopefully it will continue on throughout the whole of the Second Doctor, the Third, the Fourth, the Fifth, the Sixth, the Seventh, even the Eighth will have a review of the movie, the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, the 12th, 13th, and then I'll be continuing doing reviews of the Doctor Who story, Doctor Who episodes, even throughout to the 14th Doctor and beyond. So, hope you enjoyed this. I hope more comment and give suggestions of what you would like to see. I'm happy to hopefully have given you what you wanted, and you will be getting more. So, I will, well, I'll leave you on this, that, have you ever wondered what it'd be like to be a wanderer in the 4th dimension? If anyone gets that reference, I'll be so happy. But, oh, and yes, I did reveal who I was early on. But, yep. Hope I pleased you as well. But anyway, bye.